Is Donald Trump using phony outside entities to do the work of the government, violating government law as it relates to disclosure and records? How is he able to use Stephen Miller's outside group, America First, to make threatening letters apparently on behalf of Donald Trump? For instance, the sanctuary city mayors threatening them with lawsuits unless they do what Donald Trump wants them to do. And why hasn't that then subjected those organizations to government to record requests, Freedom of Information record requests, as if they were part of the government? We cover it all on Legal AF After Dark Edition. Take a listen.
Let me just dispense with the Stephen Miller thing quickly because I want to spend more time on the TikTok thing. Let me do Miller. Sure. I'm going to give you TikTok. So Stephen Miller runs this organization, America First Legal. Technically, it's a nonprofit. He sent the following letter. To various cities, including San Diego, calling them sanctuary cities. He's citing the Constitution and saying basically, we're going to go after you if you stay as a sanctuary city. He's going to be a senior advisor to Donald Trump. He already is, but he's going to have an official position soon. So to me, it seems like he's using this nonprofit letterhead and the nonprofit organization to engage in kind of threats, knowing that he's going to have this position. I mean, what jurisdiction does First America Legal have over San Diego's policies about how they want to deal with their own border situation in San Diego? That's actually a border town that's close to these issues. So, the whole purpose of this is Stephen Miller wanting to make himself feel tough and powerful to get a headline, which is why I really don't want to give him more attention than 3 minutes because he's looking for the headline. But there is a concept I want to talk about super briefly. Then I'm going to turn over TikTok to you, Popok, which is quasi-governmental agencies and quasi-governmental power. At some point when an agency is draped with the all of the things that come along with being a government agency and they're acting on behalf of a government, they're no longer just some random nonprofit. They're no longer just some private entity. They become official government actors or quasi-governmental actors, and then they're subject to certain constitutional limits and restrictions and obligations like Freedom of Information Act requests, unlike private industries. Like I couldn't do a FOIA request right now of Microsoft, like as a private citizen, but could you be doing a FOIA request of Doge and Elon Musk's emails and Vivek Ramaswamy's emails? Are they now governmental actors? Should the American public get access to all of their emails, text messages, data? They'll say, no, we're private citizens, but you're out there saying official government account, official this, official that. To me, there is a strong legal argument and precedent here that all of these private actors who are now masquerading as public officials, even like the czars of this, border czar, this person, why can't people start doing FOIA requests of their information? Now, they'll reject the FOIA request and they'll say, no, we can't give it back. Then it will spawn all of this litigation over kind of, are they quasi-governmental actors or not? But to me, that seems like the righteous fights to be able to do in order to bring transparency to these issues. So I tell that to you because these are the things that we're grappling with and thinking about behind the scenes about how you deal with this situation where Trump is contorting government institutions and blurring the lines between governmental and non-governmental and kind of mixing and matching right there. But Popok, speaking about mixing and matching, Donald Trump was Mr. TikTok ban in 2020, right? He invoked it under national security law. He wanted it banned. TikTok sued Trump. It's TikTok v. Trump. There have since been a lot of hearings on this issue. And to be fair, there have been some Democrats who have been like, you know what? When Trump initiated this process, some Democrats have said this. He may have had a point back then because it seems to be that TikTok is using, and they're owned by a company called ByteDance, And then ByteDance is owned by a parent company in China. And the ByteDance, the American kind of company, claims that it has a firewall between the Chinese company, that's the main parent company, but frequently that's been demonstrated to be inaccurate and false, and that China's been able to surveil on America. This is the argument from the Senate Intelligence Committee, that the Chinese government's surveilling on you when you have TikTok. Yes, you may enjoy the app. Number one, there's a concern about the algorithm interfering with elections and the algorithm influencing behavior. But two, they're surveilling on you. And then TikTok goes, no, we're not surveilling on you. We promise you we're not giving this data to China. And the Senate saying we're doing it. So Trump did an about face, right, Popok? Jeffrey Yass is this big Trump donor who's an investor in ByteDance. So he's been pushing Trump to now favor TikTok. Even though Trump didn't win the youth vote, he got more youth vote this time. And so with that background, he wants TikTok. So give us the league. What's going on with the amicus? What's happening?
All right, I'll be happy to. I agree with you, by the way, on the other point. I want to just do 1 minute on it. I've done a fair amount of public records request law. I had a local government, municipal government practice back in another life. And you and I have been successful in the Marjorie Taylor Greene case, and where she tried to use her private Twitter at the time, which was really her public Twitter. And we went after that successfully. And I think, sunshine is the best antiseptic. And we have to make sure that if Donald Trump is improperly delegating and offloading to his in coordination with these quasi-governmental agencies, these NGOs, these non-governmental organizations like America First and the rest of them, which are going to serve as Donald Trump's private pit bulls, but for his administration policies, I think they've crossed the line. And I think it's worth the fight to find out what the coordination is and the rest. I mean, for America First to threaten sanctuary city mayors and others, which is doing Tom Homan, the soon-to-be border czar's work, sounds like they've crossed over. We'll continue to follow all of that. Welcome back. We got a full-length podcast. That was one clip. We do 3 or 4 segments every show, Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the Midas Touch Network. If you know all about Legal AF, there's ways to help us. Okay, we're people powered. We're Legal AF and Midas Mighty powered. No outside investors here. Now more than ever, we need independent media and commentary and analysis that only Midas Touch and Legal AF can provide. If you agree, hit the subscribe button here and the subscribe button over on the Legal AF YouTube channel. Wednesdays and Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I do a full-length podcast on Wednesdays with Karen Friedman at Knifilo, on Saturdays with Ben Meiselas, and then hot takes like this all along the way. Take that clip if you really want to help us. It's free. It's cheap. Just send it off to people in your life. Say, join Legal AF, subscribe to Legal AF, and all of that good stuff, and that will help us into 2025 to continue to build a durable, resilient, independent, free media going forward. So until my next hot take, my next Legal AF contribution, wherever that may be, I'm Michael Popok. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.